my friends. Welcome to episode number 3 of Talkin' Ball with Bekks, from Gap to Gap and Coast to Coast. As always, 2 great guests lined up later in the show. Our future star from the Calgary Bucks, Jack Wheatley, will be stopping by very shortly. And after that, our featured guest of the week, the foremost expert in the world of recruiting for NCAA sports, Chris Hunt from Whitesboro, New York. He'll be hanging out and talking some ball and some recruiting a little later in the show. As always, got to thank the sponsors that make this show very, very possible. StraightBet.net, Tow All Rentals, The Baseball Observer, and, of course, ChrisHunt.online. All taking part and all making it possible for us to come to you week to week with great guests and great information about the world of ball. As always, I'm going to ask you to do something for me right now. Hit the subscribe button, my friends. Need your support to keep this show going, making it bigger, making it stronger. It's free. It's easy. All you got to do is click the little red button, hit subscribe, and take part. Let's get it done. All right, let's get after it. It's time to talk some ball. Can you feel it in the air, my friends? I sure hope so, because it is upon us finally. April 1, 2021, and opening day is just a few short days away. And after last year, the COVID-shortened season, nobody in the ballpark, man, I couldn't be more excited. New places, new faces. As we start every new season, it's always exciting to check out who's playing where, because there's been a lot of movement in the off-season. Hard not to start with the brand new look San Diego Padres. After the news that Mike Clevenger would undergo Tommy John surgery, you'd think that there would be a decline. But no. They go out and they get not 1, but 2 perennial Cy Young candidates. Who does that in one off season? I tell you. Blake Snell, Yu Darvish join the rotation, and then just for icing, they throw in just Joe Musgrove from the Pirates, and all of a sudden, bam, the Padres rotation is top of the charts. It's crazy, right? But do the Dodger Blues stand pat? Heck no. They go get the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner, Trevor Bauer, and pay him, wait for it, $40 freaking million. Now I can't wait to watch these 2 teams battle it out for NL West supremacy throughout this season. Of course, there was more. Springer and Semien go to the Jays. Nolan Arenado is a St. Louis Cardinal. Francisco Lindor and Cookie Carrasco are New York Mets. Jackie Bradley Jr. is a Brewer. Corey Kluber is a Yankee. Liam Hendricks on the heels of a dominant 2020, along with Lance Lynn, to the White Sox. Charlie Morton rolls through a sensational postseason with the Rays and then gets moved to the Atlanta Braves. Maybe the biggest surprises came from the moves that didn't happen. Lots of guys re-signing with their current teams when they had opportunities to move on. Of course, Didi Gregorius and JT Realmuto re-signing with the Phils. DJ LeMahieu stays in the Bronx. Marcell Ozuna continues to be an Atlanta Brave. Michael Brantley was very, very nearly a Toronto Blue Jay, but in the end he returns to the Astros. Again, lots of guys had a chance to move forward and with their careers, move to other locations, but decided to re-sign with their current teams, liking the way things were. So it was fun. It was another off season where lots of moves were made, lots of moves weren't made, and it was certainly exciting to listen to the banter back and forth as guys from different teams talk about who they should have got and who they didn't get, and how the moves pan out. We always wait and see as opening day is upon us. What did happen this offseason? In my mind, the most exciting part was the evolution of Luba Sports and a totally different dynamic in the world of free agency and how it transpires. Guess what? It worked. You cannot question, as the mega deal signed by Trevor Bauer, the highest per annum in the history of Major League Baseball. Think what you want. Say what you want. You can't question it. What you can question is the atrocious, sexist crap that this fireball of a human being has had to deal with since the deal was signed. Be better, people. Like, seriously, just be better. Celebrate the fact that this organization is involving the fans. And on top of that, they are bringing sorely needed new fans, people that would never have cared or watched baseball before. They're coming on board. They're following the social media process. Baseball was at the forefront all winter long as a direct result of what Trevor Bauer, Rachel Luba, Lizette Carnett, and everybody at Luba Sports were doing. So let's get on with it. It is something to be celebrated across the board. They're here to stay, and they are on the verge of becoming a powerhouse in the world of agencies at the professional sports level. Speaking of celebration, did I mention opening day is now just a few short days away? And guess what? Ballparks are back to being full of fans. In some, limited capacity. In others, like Arlington and Globe Field, full capacity. It doesn't matter, people. Celebrate the fact that we are back in the ballpark. The sounds, the crack of the bat, the sound of the smack of leather, the calls of the umpire, the cheers, the hot dogs, the beers, the sunshine. It's all good because we had it stripped from us last year, and it is truly something to look forward to again. Springtime, baseball, opening day, and everything that goes on in this game at this place in the shape of a diamond. I want to take a second to talk to you about something that's very important to me. It's called Area Scouts, and it's a incredible platform out of the USA that is crossing the 49th parallel and becoming Area Scouts Canada. We are actively seeking evaluators all over this country to help kids become better athletes. Log on to areascouts.com and check out all the amazing things that this program is about. The base evaluation is something very special. It's focused on injury prevention through proper movement, and then you get assessments with benchmarks created by some of the biggest names in the sport. Freddie McGriff, the crime dog, is on board. Canadians all know him very well. Ryan Lavarnaway, Brandon Geyer, Anthony Anzillo, Gregorio Petit. The list goes on and on and on. On the softball side, two of my former guests, Canadian Olympians Carissa Hovinga and Joey Lai, as well as many others. As I mentioned, log on to areascouts.com. You can get there through Bexy.com as well. Reach out to me, become an evaluator, and let's help kids in this country become exceptional athletes. Welcome back to the show. You're talking ball with Bekks. And from gap to gap and coast to coast, it is time to shine the spotlight on one of our future stars of Next from the North. We have got a great one this week, people. This kid is special in every single way. Smooth fielding up the middle at the shortstop position, electric stuff on the bump, and to top it all off, he hits bombs as well. He's a great kid, and we're lucky to have him on the show. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome sweet swinging Jack Wheatley from the Calgary Bucks. How's it going, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thanks for asking, and thanks a lot for stopping by. Let's get after it and talk some ball.
Yeah, sounds good.
It most certainly has been a crazy year. Tell me about what's gone on with the Calgary Bucks organization, Jack, and more importantly, you in particular. How have you managed, and what kind of things you've been up to in the new normal, as we like to call it now?
Well, yeah, we kind of started doing inter-squad starting up in usually June all the way through August. A little bit of fall ball, and then through the winter, we got shut down, couldn't play anymore. So I was hitting inside with a tee. Just felt good to start hitting again. That's all I've been doing, and then just trying to get as much as I can in.
Did you find yourself doing anything different from normal, apart from obvious that you're not with your teammates? But how about on the personal level with some of the drills you did? You find some new drills that you'd never done before?
Yeah, I started doing high T, low T, um, and then one's called the cardinal drill. You start opened up, and then slowly close yourself off to the ball. Um, those just kind of work, staying the other way, keeping your hands to the ball. Those are the two main ones that I've been working on, and I think they've helped a lot.
Yeah, do you figure there's anything you might have got better at over this time period? I know that most of the time when we're working with teammates and going through the normal drill process, it's tougher, to get better at certain things. Is there anything you feel like you do better after the year?
I just feel like everything's gotten stronger. I put on a bit of weight, and then everything's just kind of clicked from there.
That's for sure. I'm sure tougher to get the arm loose after this time off. Yeah, easy
Yeah.
to swing the bat inside, not so easy to throw.
Yeah.
For sure. Jack, you were a proud member of the Cal Ripken program for many years, and I know that program started falling off over the last couple, and it's a bit of a shame because I know your experience was amazing. Tell our viewers about what Cal Ripken meant to you, the ability to travel south and play in the Cal Ripken World Series. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, well, you're just with so many guys, staying in the dorms all together. Just one huge dorm, about 20 kids in there, and then staying in the international one with Japan, Korea, the Dominican, Puerto Rico, all with those guys, and then just playing against them, being able to talk to them was really cool. It's just
Yeah.
it's just
What do they do
good
for
experience.
food with all those different cultures in one building?
Yeah, they have certain times they book you in. Like, say you had a game at 8, go eat at 7 o'clock, go to the fields.
All right. So they serve
Pretty
the
much
kind of
all.
food that you would normally eat then.
Yeah, a
All right,
little bit.
that's awesome. What about
Yeah.
the tournament successes? Did you guys have some good success during the World Series?
Yeah, we won a game against Australia. I think we beat them 13-12, and then I think that was our only win, but we played against some really good teams. Korea, by far the best team, but
Yeah, one of the things about the Asian continent is it seems as though their kids grow faster over there. Every time you
yeah, they were a lot
watch
bigger
the
than us.
Little League World Series or Cal Ripken World Series, it's always the Asian teams that are gigantic at that age. So
Yeah,
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 no question. Came back obviously and started with the dogs program in your bantam years, and that's a different animal altogether, and certainly a full-time experience with the academy setup that they have. Talk about how dogs baseball affected you and what it was like going from sort of that Ripken, a little bit more on the fun side, to the seriousness of academy baseball year-round.
yeah. Well, they always have practice, always driving down there. Good team, good coaches. I think that's when I really started to realize I wanted to take baseball more seriously. And then it's just kind of went on from there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I know you love to play basketball as well. It's a big passion of yours. What was there a light bulb moment that triggered you to know that baseball was the future and that was going to be your focal point?
It was when I was in grade 9. I was playing hockey too, but it started to get all way too crazy, so I had to narrow it down to 2, and I picked basketball and baseball, and now it's going to be
Yeah,
baseball.
what is it about this beautiful game that you love so much, Jack? What leads you down the baseball path?
I don't know, just waking up those early games, getting to the field, grass is wet, everything, but it's just, I find it a lot more fun than going to a gym and playing basketball. Just something different about it.
Outside, sun shining. It's awesome. The sounds of
Yeah.
baseball are great. To me, you can stand outside and hit threes in a basketball game, and that's fun too. But baseball plays are just electric. When you make a big play or hit a bomb or a big strikeout when you're on the bump, it's different. It's awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you made the choice and moved away from dogs after an unbelievable season. I do want to just touch on that real quick because it was special in every way. Maybe one of the only times in history that a team's gone undefeated in the regular season and in tournaments as well. Talk about the Bantam Dogs team led by Alan Cox and Lou Pote, and sort of what that meant to you that year, the team, the group, and the amazing success that you guys had.
Well, I think the reason why we were so successful was because everybody was so close together. Just everybody's best friends on that team, going down, staying in hotels, everybody would be together. Then as soon as you get on the field, all that just connected, and then I think that's what made us win most of those games.
Yeah, I saw a really cool picture the other day. I was scrolling through old social media posts, and at the final out of that provincial team, there's Connor Poe with the Thor hammer up above his head. And man, you guys had a blast with that Thor hammer.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Alan Cox is a true beauty, and it's a shame he moved south. I know he's doing better things and having a blast down there, but I'm sure everybody misses him very, very much.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you headed back to the Calgary area because it's close to home, and another great organization that we certainly will talk a lot about on the show, and that's the Calgary Bucks. Talk about the differences, what sets it apart from Dogs baseball, and kind of what you enjoy about being a Calgary Buck now.
Oh, it's just different coaching styles, and we work with what we've got. We got the soccer dome and batting cages. And I think all this time we spent in there, I think it'll help a lot in the season, hopefully. And then the Dogs, they do have a nicer facility, but we work well with what we've got. There's still that compete level that you get, all just kind of the same, just different levels of, I don't know, like, competition.
One of the things I've noticed and admired about the Bucks program, and certainly with your group, is it's a core group of guys that have been together for a long time, right? You played Ripken, you moved to the Dogs together, and then off you went back to Bucks together, and it's a really tight knit, and it looks like you guys are having a blast playing for that program.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun down there.
And good teams, no question. You guys are going to have big success this coming season. Hopefully we get a season that we can play some teams outside of inter squads, because, man, inter squads are fun, but it's nice to get out and play some other teams as well. Now the big choice. You've decided to get back into the full-time academy setup and heading south to one of the greatest programs in our country. Talk about how that decision came about and how excited you are to head to the Vauxhall Jets Academy.
That's just going to be a lot of fun, staying with all those guys, living together. It kind of came about when, say about July, we kind of started talking, and then finalized it in around November, and then after that, haven't looked back. Yeah, that's all it's been.
Yeah, for those people listening that don't know, the Vauxhall Academy it's a school integrated program. So baseball and school all run together, and the kids stay in the dorm. And basically, it's like going to college early, right? Are you a little nervous about leaving home, and how's mom taking it?
I don't know how she's gonna do, but I know a couple guys down there. They played with me in the Dogs. Now they're back down to Vauxhall, and then I've met a couple of guys through camps, and then that's pretty much all it's been. But all the guys seem nice down there, so I think it'll be good.
It's a great program. There's no question about it. College is obviously on the horizon for you, and don't expect you obviously to mention who, but are you talking to some schools at this point?
I've had a call with Northern Oklahoma, but that's the most I've talked to. But then, that's pretty much all it's been.
What's the dream school for Jack Wheatley? What would be the one if they called you? You'd be jumping for joy.
I think that's got to be LSU or Vanderbilt. Either one of those two. Those are really great.
You guys got a great opportunity to tour the facility at Vandy, didn't you?
Yeah.
Some of the other guys I've talked to said it was just for the ages, it's an unbelievable experience to go walking through that incredible program. So Jack, talk about the influences that have led you to where you are now. Who's been the important ones in baseball and outside of baseball in your young life and in your baseball career?
Well, yeah, my parents have always been there for me, supported me through anything. And then I had a coach at the Dogs that moved to Calgary. I started working with him about 3 years ago, and we just kind of kept going on from there. Lives really close. Go hit on the field in the summer, and then go inside wherever we can. But I think he's helped me a lot with my hitting, everything, defense, pitching. And then also a couple other people being like my basketball coach. He's taught me discipline, accountability, all that kind of stuff you need when you're getting older.
Yeah, no question. It's important to have those people to look up to as you grow through the game and through your life as well. And you mentioned some good ones. I think you're talking about Josh McInnes. Is that right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Josh is a stud. No question about it. For sure. What about Team Canada, Jack? Is that something that is on your horizon, something you think about, and ultimately a goal that you'd love to achieve?
Yeah, that would be really cool. But we were on the field with them. I think Greg Hamilton came down, watched a couple guys from the Bucks, and then a few other people from St. Albert and everything. We all just had kind of like a practice. He was watching that, and then I think he's good friends with Coach McTavish, so hopefully, yeah, it's on the radar. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that would be pretty cool to go to.
Yeah. What about T12? Is that also something that you got your eyes on going forward, Jack?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool too. Again, we had like a showcase with them. All the coaches came down and watched at Siemens Stadium. So I already have a little bit of experience of what it looks like. So hoping by next year, I think hopefully I'll be ready to go.
Yeah, it'd be awesome for sure, just to go play at the Raj and tee it up against some of the best in the country.
Yeah.
I know you have been a two-way guy most of your young career and excelled at multiple levels on the baseball field. What does Jack Wheatley see himself as at the next level? What is your primary position of choice?
If I could pick, I think it started off to be a pitcher, and then since last year, I think I've sort of developed my hitting where it's been just as good as my pitching, so I'm just going to try and keep dragging that out as long as I can and then make the decision a little bit farther down the road.
You know what, bud? There's no reason that you have to make a decision because a great example is Matt Lloyd, who we just spoke of, coming out of Calgary and now in the Cincinnati Reds organization, and they still have not determined what he is. He's on the bump sometimes. He DHs, he plays first, he plays outfield, he plays pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep doing what you do, man. Tell you what, people, this kid right here is going places. I promise you. One of the smoothest fielders, one of the nicest swings that we have in this province, and as I mentioned, electric on the bump as well. To top it off, he's an incredible student, and as you can see from this interview, he's a great, great kid as well. So, Jack, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have an unbelievable year, my friend.
All right, yeah, thanks for having me out here.
Yeah, you bet, buddy. Take care.
Well, there you have it, friends. Another amazing interview with one of our up-and-coming future stars of Next from the North, from the Calgary Bucks, Jack Wheatley. Our thanks to him for stopping by. I want to take this opportunity to share some exciting news that we got earlier this week regarding college baseball in the Alberta, Saskatchewan area. As you all know, the WCBL canceled operations last year as a result of COVID-19. But just earlier this week, the announcement was made 2021 is a go. And to make it even better, they've decided that this year, as a result of the pandemic, the league will be all Canadian. That's right, Canadian baseball future stars teeing it up in front of you fans in the stands. Of course, there's going to be limited capacity, but for the fortunate few that get into the stadium, oh man, throw your feet up, grab yourself a beer, and watch some incredible baseball by young, exciting Canadians. Yes, sir. WCBL 2021 is happening, my friends. So yeah, visit your local ticket offices and get ready to get down and watch some great ball. We have reached the point in the show for our feature guest of the week. This one, my friends, is it's an important one to me. It means a lot because everything we are doing at Bekksy.com, at Next from the North, and at Talkin' Ball with Bekks is a result of this next gentleman and the faith he put in me some year ago. I met Chris online, and he gave me an opportunity to get involved in the world of baseball scouting and recruiting with his company, NLI. From that has spawned everything we are doing, and as I said, it is truly an honor to have this next guy come and spend a little time talking ball. He's my good friend from Whitesboro, New York, and the co-founder of the Ostrov Hunt Baseball Academy in Boca Chica, the Dominican Republic, and the founder of NLI Scouting, my good friend, Mr. Chris Hunt. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Bekksy, you're the man. You're going to blow it up with your podcast. I'm so happy for you, and you're a good friend.
Well, I sure appreciate your kind words, and sure appreciate you stopping by, Mr. Hunt. It is going to be some fun. Let's talk some ball. What do you say we get after it?
Let's do it.
So before we get into baseball talk, I have to give you the opportunity to celebrate Tampa Bay sports, because Mr. Hunt, we give him credit, is a huge Tampa Bay sports fan, and it's been a pretty good year. So go ahead, use your time wisely, and talk to me about everything Tampa sports.
See, that's why I said you're a good man right off the bat, because you give me these opportunities. And, I'm back in upstate New York. This is where I grew up, lived the first 26 years of my life. But I can honestly say I've never liked the Yankees, never will. And I've been a Tampa Bay Rays fan since day one in April of 1998 when they got smoked by the Tigers. I was there for their first game. And went through a lot of struggling years. And then 2008 forward, it's been pretty good. And, who knows what would have happened if Snell would have stayed in game 2 and 6. We might have had 3 world champions in Tampa. But
Lord,
not bad, right? Lightning.
Yeah, hell of a
Rays.
year. And the Lightning, and there's a guy named Tom Brady that came and visited down there and found his way to, I don't know, ring number 6, something like that.
7, I think.
Is it 7? Come on. Come on. Yeah, fun times. But you headed back up north and talk a little bit about, the new horizons, everything going on upstate. It's a beautiful part of the planet, no question about it, and I'm sure you're happy to be there. But talk about the baseball side and how it's affected your plans going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually busier now than I was in Florida because I'm actually wearing a hat because I just left there. I'm part of Accelerate Sports, which is a 90,000 square foot facility, and I'm coaching the 15U elite team along with Joe Scalise, who's a JUCO coach at Mohawk Valley Community College. And then I'm going to be doing lessons and working with kids on the NLI side also through there. And we have an upcoming showcase April 11th. And we're going to bring up our videographer from Florida, Brett Hammond, from Recruit Videos Florida. And we're going to be doing a showcase here in about, 2 weeks? A little 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, outstanding. It's cool to be back on the field, I'm sure. You took a little time off from that. What led to the decision to get back out there and get the fungo in hand?
They asked me to. It wasn't planned. I thought initially I was just going to be doing my NLI stuff with kids in the facility that were projectable, but they want me to, get all on board with them along with coaching. So I said, absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah, let's talk about NLI a little bit, Chris. It's obviously your baby, something you started from the get. How did it come about? Where did it all begin for you? And what led to the decision to start what has now become an entity, a huge thing in the world of recruiting down south?
Yeah, so I've been involved in all levels of baseball. I was a high school player up here in upstate New York, and I knew right then and there, even then, there's tons of players around me that weren't getting noticed. I'm going, how can this guy not be playing? But didn't think much about it then. Then I played 4 years of college baseball. I've been involved as a general manager of a collegiate summer league team, a college baseball umpire for 8 years. So I've been involved in all levels of baseball at the college level. And as you said, I co-own a professional academy in Boca Chica, Dominican Republic, where we house and train international prospects and get them signed for the international signing period. Um, but what led me to where I'm at now, I got my master's degree in sport management a handful of years ago, and I initially started with National Scouting Report. Um, and, they do a good job, but the one thing I wanted to do was to have scouts that were working only one sport. Okay, I was working multiple sports there, and for me, I couldn't develop relationships in the sport that I was not, the expert in. So when I started NLI, the philosophy was scouts are going to work. If you're a baseball guy, obviously you're working baseball. You're not doing softball and hockey and football and so forth. Um, but the need for this has been around for decades, if not, for many decades. Most kids think they're a D1 athlete when they have no idea what that even means, but because it looks good on social media, they assume they're going to be a D1 athlete, and obviously the majority of them never will be. And unfortunately, a lot of them fall through the cracks and don't even play college baseball at all when they have an opportunity to do so, but they don't know how the process works. So, that's my passion, is to educate people first and foremost about how this works, including moms and dads, and then being black and white when I evaluate their projectability and tell them, hey, Bexy, your skill set for me dictates that I'm going to be talking to D3 schools or whatever the case might be. And if they're on board with that, then we move forward and get them realistically identified, which leads to getting actively recruited by the correct schools, not what I call bumper sticker chasing to, produce a good looking tweet.
So another thing I think gets missed up here, Chris, especially in Canada, because we're not as familiar with the whole process and how it goes, is the amount of money that's truly available at the D1 level in comparison to some of those others, the D2s, the D3s, the JUCOs, because of the academic money. And the 11 and a half scholarships right now, as the amount of guys that are reclassing and staying in for the extra year, there's very little cash available to upcoming prospects. So talk a little bit about sort of the financial end and how that's impacting families.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, normally you have 35 guys and 27 get money. All right, now you have rosters that well over 40. All right, so pre-COVID times, the mandate was that an athletic scholarship was 25%, what we call a quarter. That's not the case anymore because of the expanded rosters. It could be less than a quarter. And the other thing that a lot of people don't understand is, you hear this all the time. Oh, my son got a full ride. All right. If you get 100% scholarship in baseball, which is very rare, but let's just say you do. All right. That's for tuition only. All right. You're still paying room and board. So if you get a quarter, 25%, which is, that's average amount for a scholarship. That's 1/4 of tuition only. That's it.
Yeah, that's it for sure. And you didn't even talk about playing time because guess what? You're going to get a D1 deal, quarter deal, as you mentioned. You're going to get there with 40 guys on the roster, and at the end of the day, you're going to sit. I know. And guess what? You're so much better off going the JUCO route, getting the reps, and moving on to the next level.
Absolutely. I mean, I preach that all the time. I don't know what the national numbers are, but I can tell you that more freshmen than not are redshirted their freshman year. All right, that's just the norm. Very few freshmen play at the D1 level, and a lot of times at the D2 level, especially in Florida. A couple years ago, and I'll throw this school out because it's a fact that happened, but Flagler College, which is a D2 in the Peach Belt Conference up in northeastern Florida, They had 13 freshmen. 12 of the 13 were redshirted their freshman year. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Exactly. And that doesn't happen at the JUCO level.
And JUCO is always, in my opinion, the best route for a high school kid. Always, because you establish yourself. If you go to the right JUCO where you play for 2 years, you can establish numbers, legitimize yourself as a 2-year college prospect now, and most importantly, understand what college life is about so you can make that adjustment between with your time management, with studies, and with on-the-field activities.
Yeah, we wish all the the kids that are signing. You say there are positives, and I agree that it's fantastic for a young kid to latch on to a big time school, and we hope for the best. We hope that the coaching staff honors it and they move forward and they become great players in the organization. But just ask families to be a little bit wary of getting that early commitment from the verbal level, because for all intents and purposes it could go south if things change in that program for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you bet.
I've had a couple of kids that have verbaled as 9th and 10th graders. Well, I had one at 8th grade too. And I don't care. I can say this till I'm blue in the face to an 8th grader, but they can't honestly answer this. But I always tell a prospect, when you go on a visit to a campus, all right, and you can honestly tell yourself after the visit that you can call that place home for 4 years, okay, go ahead and commit.
Yeah, you bet. And again, we hope for the best for all these guys that are signing. I want to leave you with a chance to coo a little bit about your homeland, sir, because a few years back I was fortunate enough to head down into upstate New York, into the Vermont area, and make a trip to the pinnacle of baseball in this world, and that is the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. So I thought it was one of the most beautiful places I had ever seen, not just because of the baseball aspect of it, but man, what a town. It's so incredibly pristine, Cooperstown that is. But talk to me about your decision to go home and how much upstate New York means to Chris Hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. So I lived here my first 26 years, and then I moved to Southwest Florida for 25 years, and now I'm back. I've been back for 3 weeks, all settled in and back to my normal routine. But the one thing I missed the most when I lived in Florida was the upstate New York mountains. I mean, I can see them right out the window that I'm looking out right now. It's just a different environment. And, I just love it up here. But talking specifically about Cooperstown, we were talking about this off air real quick. I played 4 years of what you would now call, I guess, collegiate summer league baseball. Back then we called it semi-pro. That's what they called it. But I played a double day, 50 plus games a year for 4 years in a row. And you talk about just every time you step onto that field or every time you drive into that village, it feels like you've gone back in time about 5 decades. It just has that feel. Technology hasn't caught up to it, and it's just so, like you said, pristine. And it just feels like you're in a different time era. You went in a time capsule and went back 5 decades. And I love it, and it's still like that. Me and my friend went there in November, went to Cooperstown. And have you been to Baseballism, by the way, the store Baseballism there?
No, because I told the funny story about how long it took us to get to Cooperstown, as I was with my 2 sons driving through Vermont on a Sunday, and we got a little lost in the sticks of Vermont. And as it turns out, we didn't get to Cooperstown until about an hour and a half before closing. So we missed out on the town and got as much as we could out of the facility, the Hall of Fame, of course.
Well, I got to tell you this cool story. You'll appreciate this one. So 1984, I was 14 years old then. The USA Olympic team was playing North Korea, I think it was, in an exhibition game there. Well, I'll be darned if the game didn't get rained out. So I'm just like, oh my God, I was bummed. So we go into the Shortstop restaurant, which is still there, right on Main Street, just a little restaurant. And, me and my parents are there, and I'm all bummed out. And I'll be darned if the whole USA Olympic team didn't come in there. And I got a signed program from every one of those players, including Mark McGuire, BJ Surhoff, Rod Daydow, the legendary USC coach, Rafael Palmeiro, and a handful of others. But it turned into be a awesome trip.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a cool story for sure. One of the things people will know that don't go there, it's everything in the town is baseball. Every business is baseball related. Every restaurant is named something, like you said, the bullpen or the ninth inning stretch or whatever it is. Like it's just, and it's as if they took this town out of the 1700s.
Yep.
Plucked it, cryogenically froze it, and then plucked it into 2020, 21.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, technology does not infiltrate that village. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And it shuts down every year, after not Labor Day, but the October holiday, whatever that is down there, and then reopens again in the spring, and they do it all over again. So it's awesome. It's a bucket list place. For those of you who haven't gone, man, go find a way, get to Cooperstown, and see it. It's an incredible place.
And I'm only 35 minutes from it. I can go there tomorrow and just visit if I want.
All right, you don't need to rub it in, my friend. That's awesome. I'm glad you're home. It seems to be the right place for you. It's as much as you'll miss your ridiculous Tampa Bay sports teams. You can still cheer for them from afar, but maybe we'll convert you since the Jays are going to be playing in Buffalo again later on this year. So,
yeah, well, you won't convert me, but I might go watch some games.
Yeah, you should go watch some games. It's an exciting young team up here, my friend.
Oh, they're loaded. Man, they got some talent.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome blast, my friend. We should have done it sooner, as I said. And as I mentioned early in the show, everything I'm doing as a result of our relationship that started last summer. And I'm thankful for you and everything that you've brought to me. And going forward, I'll always remember Chris Hunt has given me the opportunity to find my way into the game of baseball at a business level. So,
well, I appreciate that. And you're doing one hell of a job, Bekksy, and keep it up. And I'm proud of you. And reach out to me whenever you want to. But you're doing a great job.
Cheers, buddy. I appreciate it very much. You take care and have an unbelievable season up there, getting back behind the fungo bat, so to speak.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right, pal. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Oh, man. What a guy. My buddy Chris Hunt from upstate New York and NLI Scouting. Could talk for hours with that man, and wanted to get into Boca Chica and the Dominican Republic Academy that he and Jordan Ostrov operate. Could have gone for hours about scouting, recruiting, because I've never met anybody that knows more, and everything I now know about the recruiting process comes from Chris Hunt. So if you want to learn more, you can log on to Becksy.com. At the bottom there, you'll see a nice little logo called chrishunt.online. It's an incredible program that he has put together, and that is a discount coupon. So you click on it, and it'll take you right to the site, and you can learn everything there is to know about recruiting to the NCAA. Whew, another show in the books, my friends. It is episode number 3, winding down and leading us towards episode 4, which is the Easter weekend show. Got big plans. I'm not going to share them yet, but let's just say 4 of the biggest names in baseball that have come out of this little town, Okotoks, Alberta, where I reside. It's going to be a lot of fun. Professional athletes, professional coaches, and some of the, again, biggest names to ever come out of the Okotoks Dogs Academy. So that's next weekend. It is here on the show, again, at Talkin' Ball with Bekks on YouTube, 5 Eastern, 3 in the mountains, and 2 out on the West Coast.
My thanks to our future star of the week, Jack Wheatley. Again, a special kid that we're going to hear a lot from in the future. And very soon, we'll probably be signing his national letter of intent. Again, Chris Hunt from Chris Hunt Online and NLI Scouting. We thank him for stopping by and lending some expertise to the ever so complicated world of NCAA recruiting. That's it, my friends. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't done so already, I please ask you to subscribe to the channel, because every subscription takes me one step closer to helping all the kids that sign up for our program. So thanks again. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next Sunday. We're talking ball with Bekks from gap to gap and coast to coast.